first ban, and after that, potentially Circuit.
It's going to be pretty risky, but right now, Rival and NRG, these two bans have stayed the same for all of these matches.
There it is. The Circuit is gone, away from adapting.
NRG sticking to their old-fashioned Fafnir Odin, just a very solid ban combination that's been keeping them well throughout the entire set so far. This allows Raijin to get through, and it's going to fall into the hands of Wolfie.
And because of that, we do get a Raijin in the mid lane. But Raijin no longer with that utility that other gods have. He does have that early pressure. What are they sacrificing picking Raijin now?
Well, compared to the last game they had, Discordia, they're sacrificing nothing. Discordia last game got completely out-pressured. She wasn't able to have the impact at all, and her damage was just, well, not really flattering. Raijin here is a more solid character that can even do work when coming in from behind.
Now, with Raijin here, do you think that NRG is going to pick out Isis, but now that they're not worried about them, are they going to go with a more standard mid laner?
They will be waiting on the mid lane for here. They have no reason to pick it up now. It's going to look for an AMC hover for probably Emilito or also potentially Yaman in mid lane, but I would like to see more in a mage. When the mage is picked up so early for Rival here, there's no point to pick it until later on, maybe third here.
And this is a hyper pressure duo lane as well coming out from NRG. And we've already witnessed Raffer Sylvanas multiple times today. For him to be able to bring it back into a fifth match, that's one of the sacrifices Rival had to introduce to themselves.
Yeah, Rival either was going to pick Raijin, so they have that strong mid laner, or they were going to take away Sylvanas again from NRG, but they decided to go with the Raijin.
And that is the beauty of picks and bans, this constant trade of characters and strengths. And Sylvanas has been this key character throughout the entire set for both teams, even when it wasn't Rival. Rival almost getting back into the game at the Portal Demon fight was thanks to Sylvanas pulling Emil over the wall.
You can see the team coach there, Alpha Jackal, very involved in the team's picks and bans. Who's the coach for NRG, and is he as involved?
It is Badger currently on the roster as a quote-unquote official/unofficial coach. He's doing picks and bans work and helping out the boys with everything they need. He's standing behind them, and it's going to be Athena and Uller for Rival. Athena taken away from NRG. I like the choice, even though I would have been surprised to see Maniac play it. I don't even think they would have had place for it on the team comp, but Rival looked very confident with Athena.
Callus did a fantastic job with Athena before, setting up a lot of kills, and those taunts were great. And of course, you have the global ultimate with her, which allows you to ping across the map.
And this Athena pick still allows a mild bit of flexibility. Ice Ice Baby could still potentially try and take Athena into the jungle, but I would only doubt it because Rival might want to try and establish their pressure in the solo jungle side this time around. We've seen multiple rotations out of Maniac because of how far ahead he's getting from adapting, basically enabling him having that pressure, and now I think Rival's looking to turn the tables.
Dimmy, you were saying that Discordia over on Rival's side really wasn't doing too much, but for NRG, is this a different stance?
The beauty of Discordia on NRG is the fact that NRG managed to get pressure in the early game, which is a safe kind of farming environment for Discordia, allows her to get online, and then in the siege meta, in the later stages of the game, she's able to really shine. I like the pickup here, and I hope they do pick up a jungler and a soul laner that's able to provide the pressure that she needs.
Rival banning out Kabrakan against NRG. They do not want to deal with that early aggression like they did last game, and Geb banned out on the side of NRG.
These second bans have been really standard for what it is. It's been mostly Erlang and Geb throughout the entire set for NRG, and Rival now finally afraid of the Kabrakan with a very smart ban here.
I'm wondering if this last ban's going to be an RTO, and if not, if she's going to go through.
It could be, it should be, it could also be Osiris. Actually, okay, RTO.
RTO is banned.
NRG could be picking Osiris since it's been a comfort pick for Rival for the entire, well,
right,
so far.
And there it is.
It's hovered.
Not to mention that Maniac did such a great job throughout the entirety of Season 4 with Osiris. And I mean, he was initially playing these super warriors that love bullying out the lanes, and then he started transitioning a little bit more into the Guardian solo laners to try and provide some team fighting support to NRG.
Rival mixing it up a bit with a Daji pick over for the jungler role, and we've seen her a few times. How does Daji fit as an assassin?
Daji has been receiving recent buffs, and for the ranked scene, for example, she's been doing a very good job. She's been high priority. She has a lot of bursts, a lot of good confirmable bursts, and she's also has this presence of a CC forcer in the form that the way Ares does it. I would like to see here seeing how it works with Athena, both characters that want to abuse beats cooldowns. Now, in competitive play so far, Daji has not been the best of characters. Potentially, this will going to get swapped out for another jungler. We've got 40 seconds left, and we'll see what they go for.
kind of expected deliberation on the Daji pick because she can be similar in playstyle to that of a Najah, where you're kind of just all in committing at that point, because if you go in and the timing isn't right, you're most likely just going to end up dying. And leaving your team with taking the risk of, are we going to potentially run into 4v5 scenarios on multiple occasions, that's the interesting side factor that Daji can introduce.
And there she is, locked in indeed. I'm guessing if Rival isn't going to pick Ares, they want something at least with chains.
This is a all-in from Rival. They believe that Daji is going to be the pick winning in the game here. Amaterasu going to Deathwalker, a kind of low-pressure kind of style, like we've seen them do before. So
but great sustain. And great team fights with that old Guan Yu on top of her.
Yeah, but has Rival ever struggled in team fights?
No, and not with this Fenrir, no way.
Oh,
this is what happens every year. Every year, Adapting pulls out the Fenrir as that last resort, and it's panned out for them so far. I'm not sure how it's going to work out in this game 5.
It's been about damn time.
Going to take away Circuit? All right, here's Fenrir. Have fun. All right, guys. Looking at these two team comps, it is game number 5. Who do you give it to?
I already know who Demi is going to say, so just for the fun of it all, I'll go with Rival.
And Demi?
Energy all the way, baby.
All right, everyone, it is game number 5 for Rival versus NRG. Make some noise!
I think the teams are going to be the ones making the noise here today. Game number 5, the first 2 belong to Rival. The last 2 belong to NRG. And this one belongs to he who finds themselves in the finals. Both of these teams, man, the Fenrir, the Amaterasu, it's all down to this.
The Circuit was first banned. Fenrir last picked. Focusing out, adapting there in the early stages. If you're going to play a god all 4 games there, we're going to take that one away from you in game number 5. And what does he go back to? His staple Fenrir. He brought it out against Luminosity and Cloud9 seasons 3 and 2 respectively. Even the Najah every now and then. And with the Fenrir buffs recently that has happened, where you don't use your runes for seething, how Fenrir is such a nightmare to deal with.
You know, I'm a little upset, Toli. I'm a little upset.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
This is the composition for Deathwalker to play Ares solo. You can't play it all the time, but you've got the solo push in the mid lane by way of Raijin. You've got Kalas on the Athena to help over there on the solo side. Instead, Deathwalker goes for the Amaterasu. He's looking to help out his team a little bit more. Those auras are going to be very important, especially in that late game when Yaman is doing a ton of damage.
It probably would have even deterred the last pick Fenrir as well, because who wants to deal with an Ares if you're Fenrir? But either way, wanting to play it rather safe than sorry. Amaterasu brings a lot to team fights, and the speed for the team, the damage. Early game rather, it's going to be troublesome, honestly, because she gets bullied rather easily.
But what we have sort of Ares-like, right? Ice Baby's ultimate is very similar on this Daji. Now, Daji is shown up pretty much in the latter half of this year, and I've really liked what she brings to a team. The question is, can Ice Baby play her well? And absolutely, yes, he can.
Depends on who he tries to focus here with that ultimate. A lot of these gods on NRG side has crowd control immune ultimates, with the exception of Amelito. So if somebody can force out his beads before Ice goes into the sky with his ultimate, that could be the prime target that Rival needs.
Now, Maniac doesn't have beads this time around. We see he's got the horrific emblem there. Even though Osiris is tanky, does that make Maniac a prime target for Rival, or do they still want to respect his tankiness?
I think that they're not going to focus him out too much here. He still has Lord of the Afterlife to escape from the ultimate of Ice Baby, but I'm expecting NRG to lean on Deathwalker here. You don't want to allow an Amaterasu to transition in the mid to late game comfortably, trying to strip away some of her blue buffs. It doesn't allow her to clear the way rather effectively, and then maybe taking away some of the experience. So you're separating that gap, trying to get level 9 while Amaterasu is still level 7. That's the game plan for NRG.
I like how Raffer out here just annoying people, gets a pull. No intention of fighting 1 versus 2 with Sylvanas, but just wanted to land the pull. Does so, slowing down Team Rival heading into his jungle more importantly.
Even delaying rotations by 2 seconds is all it takes. That's why sometimes in duo lanes, sometimes in solo lanes, whenever there's a one-on-one going down and somebody's trying to back, if you can find a hail of arrow from a distance just for the stopping of the back, well, there goes 5 seconds of the enemy's time.
The proxy farm coming out for the two-man push on the solo side by NRG. By taking care of the minions behind the tower, they make Deathwalker's life that much more difficult. No minions to tank the other minions, so instead he has to do it himself, find himself losing a lot of HP, and obviously a nice, delicious target for an early game monster like Fenrir.
And because he went for the Death's Toll and not the Bluestone Pendant, he doesn't have the opportunity to clear the wave. He just got denied 50 gold under his own tier 1 tower. The experience permitted here already favoring out Yaman a little bit on this Discordia thus far. Trying to see this little 1v1 happen. Neither one of them wanting to do anything quite yet. It's just been a 2-on-2, but it's Maniac on the right side. Ice maybe with first blood, and Adapting falls as well!
2-2! Collis comes up on top with that ultimate. First blood turns into double blood, and Team Rival started with a bang.
Adapting was only level 4. Ice and Deathwalker using their ultimates early in the engage, abusing this Fenrir that just could not catch up in experience.
And that right there brings Daji from 0 to full boots. And now it's really scary. Let's take a second look at this one. Incredible stuff by Ice Baby.
Pretty sure Deathwalker probably baited himself out, and that's exactly what happens. Jumping was Adapting. He actually even misses, and then that's it. He even cancels it early to make sure there was going to be a tower shot early on to Maniac.
The cancel was so hot. Oh, Ice Baby, and this is what I mean is Ice plays his characters, he understands the ins and outs, and this is just what he does. The bait by Deathwalker, though, I think was the key there.
Ice is caught in a bad situation. Raffer credited with that kill. The damage from Yaman's Golden Apple, enough to take away the life of Rival's jungler. 2 for 1 thus far, though. 4 minutes into the game, NRG respond back.
Even still, Team Rival find themselves up 800 gold. 500 for the bounty for the first blood, and then even more so just from sort of messing around in the jungle. But also, Team Rival, they need that boost onto their jungler. Adapting on this Fenrir, we're all scared of it for good reason, because Fenrir is highly mobile and will be omnipresent around the map. Daji getting that first blood and those boots, very important to allow Ice Baby to set the pace of the game.
But now, with that 1 death for Ice Baby, it was a successful invade from NRG, stripping that speed buff away, still having their own speed buff for later. Blue buff has respawned from their side of the map as well. 5 minutes into the game, waiting for these oracles to respawn is Rival, but look where Adapting is. I think he wants to go onto Deathwalker.
Yes, he does. There's a jump, but perfect ultimate. Voids the crowd control.
Yep.
And not a care in the world.
And that is going to mean that's about an 80-second cooldown remaining here on Deathwalker's ultimate. That's going to give plenty of time for Adapting to swing back around the corner. The Ragnarok is going to be available here in a moment for that kill.
And we'll see if that happens, because, I mean, Deathwalker has the sprint available. Even if he is hit by the ultimate, can run away after the fact, especially by way of movement speed, aura, and a dash, as long as it's not interrupted.
Elementals was taken by NRG. They're now rotating on the right side of the map. They're looking for the kill here onto Deathwalker. They want it. Jumping in is Adapting, but he's not able to commit. Deathwalker just barely able to dash away.
One of the things I do like about this Amaterasu pick, even though it was before the Fenrir, is the silence. If you do get brutalized, all he has to do is turn around and dash into the Fenrir, and that will stop the brutalized. And honestly, dashing into the Fenrir instead of away is probably the better move, even though it sounds scary.
It's very true. That Brutalize will do enough damage there. Also getting off some more damage of yourself and getting some more Death's Toll procs after the fact. I like the idea behind going for this Death's Toll versus Bluestone. That's been always the topic of discussion. Whenever a new player asks me, it's like, what should I go in Amaterasu? Do I go Death's Toll? Do I go Bluestone? DT allows you to just stay in the lane a little bit longer, more relevant. Bluestone allows you to clear the wave more effectively, but in team fights, you're going to be hitting a lot of members in the team fight, so you might as well get that sustain on.
The Bluestone, Amaterasu clears the wave with just the Reflect Mirror at level 8, regardless if she has the Bluestone or not. You're getting additional, you're getting that sustain by way of the Bluestone, but the Death Toll, you're basic attacking for the passive anyway. I love the Death Toll on the Amaterasu. And Deathwalker here, he's always been, you know, one of the guys that sort of leads the way as far as his builds, and I like the Death Soul.
No vision here, not too much vision at least. The top side, right behind Fireshine, was spotted here as Adapting rotates over. Now finally waiting for something to happen as these elementals are about to respawn. Rival though are in a position to possibly contest. You can't allow a team to consistently get these elementals off the board, especially right side mids. I think NRG are gonna look to control those two objectives.
Yeah, you can see the right side mids will be taken out by NRG here. Discordia and Sylvanas grouping up there. Deathwalker on the right side alongside his jungler, and that's Kalis making the rotation, but he's spotted out as him and Raijin are able to pick up those elementals.
And Rival with a pretty interesting lead here, about 700 gold, 8 minutes into the game, still slowly but surely finding little things here, little things there. Similar build this time around between these two mid-mages, both opting for the Doom, where normally one goes for one, the other goes for Warlock Sash, but not this time around. I think it's gonna be a lot of fireworks once more team fights occur.
Game 5, baby. Everybody bringing it. Those Doom Orbs, Wolfie and Yaman. Wolfie's amplifying his early game damage. That's already fantastic. And Yaman using the Doom Orb as a crutch. The character doesn't have the early game damage, so that Doom Orb really helping out. Fully stacked, still bringing a ton of power. 60 by default. The 40 stacks multiplied by 2 gives you 80. So when you combine it, you're at 140 power, all said and done.
That's quick maths right there, but I think this is the first time that Wolfie is playing the Raijin in this set. It was banned away multiple times here by Rival. Didn't want to give it to Yaman there, but now we're going to see a lot of burst damage. Finishing off Shoes of Focus here, having a little bit of cooldown reduction under his belt. More importantly, some more mana to spam his abilities.
I mean, Raijin, one of the scarier gods in the game, in my opinion. He's got fantastic push, even early on, which is something hotly contested in the current meta. The damage that he's able to do is not only long range, but also AoE by way of the Raiju. You're hitting the entirety of the team, and when Wolfie looks at those builds with Divine Ruin and stuff like that, he's able to spread all the on-hit effects that way, and the ultimate even brings control, dude.
You talked about all the positive things about Raijin, but the one negative aspect about him is when he is controlling you with his ultimate, he's very vulnerable. He's basically a sitting duck. His movement speed gets reduced very heavily. It's a lot of damage that Yaman and Emilito can confirm on him potentially.
That's absolutely true, and you know, we saw this before actually. Discordia picked against the Raijin in a set earlier this week because he's such a big target that when you chuck that apple, it's really hard to miss.
And looking for more action as the speed buff is about to respawn. Rival are in position though. This time around, Deathwalker is in a comfortable spot here. He's one level above Maniac. He's even going to use his ultimate just for poke. He knows he's not going to find the kill. He wants to get the damage off because he knows Ice Baby's right around that corner.
Also forcing the ultimate out of Maniac, who won't have it next time. But this is a 4-man collapse. Adapting picks him up. Kalis will come help, but it do not matter. Maniac takes down Ice Baby.
That's the one issue with not going beads. Wolfie, though, goes in the ultimate. He's going to take a lot of damage here. He's not going to use the Brutalize, recognizing that Kalis has the taunt available. Great engage from Adapting, abusing Ice Baby, not having beats, opted for the blink.
And 4 players collapse on him. The entirety of NRG show up, and again, why? Because NRG want that invade. Speed buff and blue buff taken off of 1 kill right on the jungler.
Adapting. He had 2 choices to go for. He could have went even on Deathwalker, considering his ultimate was not available. But the fact that Ice Baby's playing this Daji, an assassin that has a relatively low health pool, it's a faster time to kill on that god.
But Ice Baby also able to bring that damage and be extremely, well, turn it around and have a faster time to kill against his opponents. The Hydra's Lament just going to help out.
It's going to do a decent amount of damage if he can get into the backline without getting engaged on. It's very surprising sometimes to see some players not opt for the defensive relic option when dealing with gods such as Fenrir, maybe even Naja. It's not a bad idea to always think offensively, but if you're going to put yourself out there, expect a little bit of backlash in return, and that's exactly what Adapting likes to do.
Exactly. I think the idea was for Ice Baby to make the impactful plays and use that blink early on and just avoid Fenrir. just stay away.
And then you can use your teleport ability on your own teammates to escape the action, so it's not a bad idea in that regard. But thus far, it's a 2-2 scoreboard. Game is basically even here. Rival with about a 300 to 400 goal lead, which is not much at all.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely tied up, and Wolfie here in the mid lane has to avoid
Again.
the nonsense. The ultimate will help, but it's not going to be enough. Yaman puts Ice on ice.
Ice Baby is just waiting till the day he hits level 12 so he can finally pick up the speeds and escape the clutches from adapting Fenrir.
Right now, DW trying to deal with Maniac's Osiris and just taking so much damage. Able to heal up a little bit, but certainly not as much as he takes.
It's not going to be that big of a deal here, considering the 20% cooldown reduction from Breastplate of Valor is going to allow Deathwalker to consistently stance switch, get more health topped off, and look at this, Maniac's still feeling a little ambitious there, trading some more shots off using that health chalice.
Well, Vote has Ula this time around. Not gonna find the axe just yet, not gonna find the hail of arrows either, and Emilito off to the races, trying to take down the enemy hunter.
I think Emil was a little bit mad that he even tried to go for the axe, like, you what, mate? It comes back in there, is like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's both of these hunters, they're fun-loving. A lot of times the competitive guys tend to be like furrowed brow, always on top, but they actually have a lot of fun in lane, so I like watching it. Gold Fury gonna be pulled by Rival. Interesting choice.
It's surprising considering that Wolfie and Ice Baby's ultimate is not available. Ice takes a lot of damage. They're already about half health there. All of Rival have to retreat. It's NRG that's going to start the gold instead, adapting on the backside. He gets popped with a sprint there. He's looking for Ice. He knows where he is.
And the Gold Fury already half HP. Adapting on the back end, gets his ultimate beads down by Wolfie, who then immediately turns into his own ult. Damage,
There he goes.
damage. Wolfie hits 4 drums and takes down 1 jungler. That's kill number 3.
And Maniac, though, he's in a little bit of trouble as well. Caught between a rock and a hard place. 2 dead members from NRG. Rival jumping in. Vote. He wants ammo. The taunt is being waited. He catches out. So the B goes down, and Rapper is being looked at. Is that for? That's 4!
The team fight was incredible by Team Rival. NRG showed up. They tried to take the Gold Fury away. Rival were just looking for the fight there. They didn't even want the Gold Fury.
Adapting wanted to find Ice Baby so badly. He jumps at the same time that Ice Baby blinks past him, goes into the ultimate. He catches Wolfie, gets his beats up. Sure, that's all fine and dandy, but now Adapting has no escape after that point. He gets hit by all of Wolfie's damage, gets controlled by the ultimate. That was the first victim. The rest was history after Maniac fell trying to zone.
And what I loved about that team fight was that was delightfully Team Rival. Take that VOD and just put it front and center. Look at all the player damage totally. 76, 75, 74, excuse me, 45, 43. I was looking at net worth. But the idea is all of those players, you had the taunt from Collis, Vote comes through with some basics, Wolfie comes through with the ultimate, Ice Baby as well. Everybody contributed equally to that team fight, and that's really what allowed Team Rival not just to take the Gold Fury, but the beginning of this game.
The player damage you see on your screen is not comparable to what happened in that team fight. The Osiris damage, it's all bully damage in that solo lane. We're seeing the damage from Yaman. It was consistently being done onto Ice Baby whenever he was caught in that mid lane, but that one team fight from Rival, they have the efficient damage, the damage that matters, and they're finding the prime targets now in that last team fight. A game that was once very close, relatively even, 200 to 300 gold lead for Rival has now stretched to over 3,500.
Team Rival not done just yet, looking to push up here in the middle lane. Ice Baby gets his Magi stripped by way of the Strife. Tier 1 tower falls down, no problem. Deathwalker zoning from his team. Love that. The 4 guys retreat, and Deathwalker turns around and says, all right, guys, if you want to make it past me, you got to deal with it, and everybody else walks away.
NRG, though, they need to find a way to not allow this game out of control if they want to defend their world title. Deathwalker, he gets taunted. He's surrounded by 4. Lord of the Afterlife under his Tier 1 tower, but there goes Maniac.
Lucky number 7 for Team Rival as they put down the Portuguese powerhouse. Team Rival walking up that right side lane, looking for a tier.
They're not done. They're not done. But look what NRG are doing. This is their Season 2, early Season 3 style of play. When they know they're behind, they're not going to fight you. They're going to split push. Tier 1 falls on the left. Tier 1 falls in the mid. Rival, they got Tier 2. They want to get a Phoenix. There's no minion window. Finally, here it comes. There's only Yaman here to defend, though.
Strife is good. Good for that.
Meditation, though. This is a 17-minute Phoenix for Rival without a Fire Giant.
Meanwhile, left side tower still alive. Mid side tower. This one will fall.
What a base race here. Deathwalker, though, he's trying to stall out Emilito here. He's going to try to engage, though. Lord of Olympus on top of Emil. Here comes the taunt. Emil in a 1v2 uses the Aegis, but Deathwalker has to retreat. He recognizes NRG are right around the corner.
Yeah, the whole cavalry showed up, and everybody, that was very, very smart of Rival to walk away and back off. But after all is said and done, the big push on the right-hand side, Rival still up 3K.
That's right. They traded 4 towers, though. Tier 1 and Tier 2 in both middle and long lane. That's 4,000 gold. Granted, they got 2,000 themselves from just a Tier 1, Tier 2, but the more important, Phoenix. Now, there's going to be fire minions consistently flooding in the right side of the map. And this early on, fire minions are so difficult to handle.
I was just going to say that. Late game, you could just shove one person there and take care of it. This is a problem. Totally, this is an 18-minute
That's right, but it's a bait because they're going on Maniac. They get the taunt, they get the damage. They're waiting to continue a little bit forward. They got poked out, but keep in mind, though, that they have a meditation coming up soon in 35 seconds to stay relevant in a team fight.
NRG trying to wrestle themselves back into game number 5. Rival have the lead, but it's certainly not guaranteed. Adapting his pick for the Magi's Blessing to deal with some of the CC. Same thing on the other side as far as Team Rival is concerned. But again, is it about the objective, Toli?
It definitely is going to be about this Fire Giant here, F. They clear the right side wave, waiting for more Fire Minions to trickle through. Adapting, he's going to try to stop the back from Deathwalker. Magi's Blessing is available, but if Deathwalker really wanted to, he's going to do that every single time. Just dash, pop it, and that can allow Callus to look for the dash taunt after the fact.
It could also allow Ice Baby to look for the ultimate after the fact. It can allow Vote to look for the axe after the fact. So many options for Team Rival to follow up off of that silence from Deathwalker.
This is so tricky for NRG. They can't leave the right side of the map exposed any longer here. It's so unfortunate that Rival had that play happen on the right side instead of the left. If that was long lane towers that Phoenix stripped, then that means someone from NRG would have to constantly defend that side of the map while the rest of Rival are going to be trying to bait and pull the Fire Giant.
One more time, the objective is pulled. Gold Fury this time. Half already on the Big Fury. Maniac and Raffer coming around the front side. Look on the back side. Keep an eye on the dog.
Rival get it
on the back line, but the ultimate immediately forced out by the mid lane mage. There comes Ice Baby. One gets pulled, and the damage is not going to be enough, but Maniac relatively low. Collins coming through. Solo lane.
Adapting, he's alone. He's surrounded by all 5 Rival members. He falls. The king falls in this team fight. Emilito, he uses his speeds. He's trying to run away, but Deathwalker, Amaterasu, has the speed or a Vote right behind him here. The Titan, though, it's taking damage. There's Fire Minions coming into the Titan. If NRG don't defend this, they're going to lose this game 5.
I mean, there's no way those minions are going to kill the Titan right this second. But what it does is it puts pressure onto NRG. Now they have something else to do. They cannot just commit to a single team fight or a single objective. They have to commit to their backside base as well, which opens the door for Team Rival, and they walk right on in.
Slow and steady is the name of the game now for Rival. Getting Gold Fury, finding the pick. All right, no more towers for Phoenixes. Bait this out, try to catch Raffer. The taunt is good. The damage follow-up. Raffer's forced to retreat on the north side. Vote is off the mark. Deathwalker's forced to run away. He's a little bit too low, but Maniac is off the mark.
Nice chase. Deathwalker going to be able to back to base and walk through the portal. I think it should still be available.
It will indeed be available. And now NRG's right side Phoenix has respawned. No longer will they have to deal with these fire minion waves. They don't allow Rival to secure the Fire Giant. They are up about 5,000 gold here. It's a comfortable lead, but in a 5-on-5 situation, it's still risky to go for this Fire Giant.
Half HP. There's a taunt. Maniac gets hit. Nice stun coming out from Vote. No follow-up just yet. Fire Giant still in control by Rival.
Adapting.
Instead, they're all looking at the dog.
That damage, so much so on adapting. He's already less than half health. He needs to use that Seething Howl to lifesteal off the speed buff consistently, and that's gonna force Rival to try to go for this Fire Giant.
Big boy taunt that's gonna be right into the silence coming out from Deathwalker. Chain. This time
Maniac
from the
is
jungle,
low.
and there's a kill.
Rapper's dead. That's a double.
Vote. 2 kills for the Hunter.
Wolfie falls though. Emilito has something to say about that. Vote is trying to run away. Ragnarok being used, cashing out Callus. It's a 2-for-2.
That cannot be good for Team Rival. Big points because Vote is showing up again. The big difference about the last couple of matches was Vote wasn't bringing the damage. This time he totally is, and that's where Team Rival succeed.
Ice Baby too low to stay relevant in the fight. Emilito feeling himself. He's going to force this Fire Giant in a 3-on-3 situation because they recognize that Ice Baby back. The root is good onto Deathwalker, but he dashes before the stun happens from adapting. And moving forward now, Rival still trying to group up and defend this Fire Giant.
Still not too much damage on the big boy just yet. Adapting in a zone, Deathwalker, Vote, and Ice Baby here and available. Ice Baby's presence and Deathwalker's presence enough to really push energy off of this option, which is all Rival really need.
Trying to find something. They spot the fact that adapting has back, but nobody from Rival are anywhere near in position to take advantage. The response has happened from both Wolfie and Callus there. That unfortunate 2-for-2 that could have easily equaled a Fire Giant if they didn't lose those two after the fact, but it just NRG knows what they can and can't get away with. They know like, okay, like yeah, we lost 2 people early on in the fight, but we still have abilities to throw at you.
And Emil always understands exactly how dangerous he can play. He knows his distances. He understands that even if he's low, he's got a little bit of relevant lifesteal by way of double. Aussie and the gloves, no problem for him to stay in these extended engagements.
Something that Ataraxa did yesterday was the triple lifesteal, adding Bloodforge to the end of his build. We'll see if Emil follows suit in that regard, but NRG starting Fire Giant 24 minutes in. Rival are fully aware as Deathwalker is within vicinity. He doesn't spot the actual health remaining though, but adapting very low, taking too much poke, is retreating in mid.
Ice really important in these team fights. He's been able to bring a lot of control by that way, but the ultimate this time wasted. Deathwalker dashes away, adapting on the left side. Rival has to be careful. Adapting, looking for the kill. Instead, he's turned on. The damage to Wolfie. The damage to Wolfie through the wall. Bang! Bringing out the Quints and putting down the jungle.
Maniac jumps on in though, but he's not gonna get out. 2 dead from NRG. Rival, they're going on the chase. Nice little juke from Ice Baby, not gonna get hit by the strike. And now Rival with a 5-on-3 can start the Fire Giant.
Votes pilots arrows right into the big boy right now. On go duty is Ice Baby.
He goes in.
Has the help from Collins. Forces the Aegis.
Oh, but Rapper is forced into the graveyard. 3 dead from NRG. It's only Yaman and Emil to watch from a distance as Rival are trying to secure the Fire Giant that they forced to retreat all the way back to the right side. Rival, they walk away with the first Fire Giant of the game.
NRG right now in this game 5. Totally, who won Worlds last year?
It was NRG.
Totally, who won Worlds 2 years ago?
It was Epsilon, aka NRG.
You ruined my whole effect. My point is, they've won the last 2 years.
Yes.
And they've looked dominant doing so. Team Rival are the first team, in my opinion, to really, truly threaten NRG's chance at this 3-peat. And right now, NRG, or Rival rather, the team that have brought themselves up from the bottom, could be showing up on Final Sunday.
It's so interesting to see the path of both of these 2 teams throughout the years, how they've overcome such adversity to show up here in the first semifinals. This is only the first semifinals, F-Dot.
That's true. We've got an entire other best of 5 coming up next. Ataraxia and Obey Alliance take on Polar Bear Mike's United, representing the last hope for North America. But right now, Team Rival representing their last hope for this best of 5 and their chance to find themselves in the finals. It's 26 minutes in. Team Rival have a baker's dozen and over 10,000 gold, more than the opposition.
All the towers from NRG have been stripped. Once those Phoenixes go down, that Titan will be at its most vulnerable form, and Rival, they're feeling it. They get the Portal Demon. They're going to spend all this gold in hand. They're going to try to get back into it. I think their first goal is to go for the right side Phoenix. With the respawn Phoenix, it's going to be respawning at half health. It takes even more damage once you get in there, and I think Rival is going to exploit that fact.
Grouping up on the right side is exactly what they'll do. Deathwalker leading the charge, as he should. Wolfie on the right side. Vote's going to pick up the red buff, which makes him even scarier.
Yes, the damage, the burst potential out of this level 20 Uller. Having even Magai's Blessing, recognizing that adapting could easily try to stun, Ragnarok him. It's a great idea here to get this defensive item. We've seen other defensive items from these hunters every now and then in the form of either Winged Blade, Mantle of Discord, to give yourself some CC immunity in a certain threshold. But this Magai's Blessing, perfect counter towards adapting Fenrir.
Yeah, and you can see almost the entire team has that bubble. It's really just Collis that doesn't have it with him.
The siege begins. In the back line is Ice Baby onto Maniac. Adapting jumps in, pulls in one, but look at the damage onto the jungler.
Again, Wolfie bringing out the damage. As soon as Raffer shows up, he gets in trouble. Same with Adapting. Right side Phoenix, still alive for now, brought down to half. Deathwalker tanking, the rest of the team trying to deal the damage.
Raffer is too low. He's stationary during the pull.
Where'd he go?
Callis takes out Adapting.
Where'd he go?
He's eliminated from the game here, respawning in 40 seconds. Rival Wolfie, though, takes a little bit more damage than he wanted to. They're going to wait for him to get topped off before going in, pushing the mid wave a little bit closer to the mid Phoenix. There's no rush. 30 more seconds for Adapting to respawn. Rival with a 5-on-4 down the mid Phoenix lane.
Yaman gets a beautiful strife and some extra damage by way of the stars, but not going to see much of a consequence.
The taunt, Raffer eliminated!
Gone! Vote puts number 15 up on the board for Team Rival.
Mid Phoenix is going to go down here in a moment. Callis is still tanking, Adapting up in 5, Raffer in 30. Ice going towards the right side. Rival, we're waiting for a minion wave to occur here. The ultimate is available for Deathwalker and Callis if they want to synergize that up. Maniac trying to zone, but he's going to get taunted, and he's going to get taken out as well.
Vote on top one more time. Yaman answers back. Deathwalker down.
Ammo! Wolfie gets Adapting!
Wolfie says no. Rival says no.
Rival have the potential to win right here, right now. Ice Baby in the sky, trying to pull multiple members. He gets both of them. Wolfo takes out